You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Rebels, we are back after a sabbatical. I apologize for being gone. It's been crazy times. I hope you guys, I had to get my mental right. I took a few days to hide away. I came back and looked, and I was just so sad by what I was seeing. But today is a day of redemption for a lot of people. Hopefully, the tides are turning in the positive, and the same for sports. So we're going to try to keep it on the sports side as much as we can, and keep it on the happy side as much as we can. And we're going to try to take your mind away from all the craziness that's going on in the world, and especially here in the States. Holy bejesus, they think they're going to get sports in with all this shit going on, Moose? I don't know. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. Let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here's your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here, another edition of DSR2. It is the first week of June. It is June 3rd. It was a wonderful day outside. Nice and warm, not too humid, unlike yesterday, which I felt like I was dying. So we got lots to talk about. We're going to try to keep it as much as sports as possible here. Again, looks like we may have sports going on there. Looks like basketball. You know what? Basketball is going to be back, baby.
They're working it hard.
Working hard. It's going to get on there. Looks like the NHL's trying to finalize that. MLB. They don't know what the hell they're doing out there.
MLB is lost. They're way behind the curve, and by the time they figure out, like the difference between their ass and a hole in the ground, it'll be too late. All the other sports will be going, and no one will give a flying fuck stick about baseball.
Yes. And
then they're going to end up having to go with the DH all year. They're going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff that we should probably be watching, because it'll be the first time in its pathetic history that it actually tries something fucking different. But it'll be too late. Nobody will care.
Yes.
Okay, show's over. See you guys. Have a great one. We'll see you next week.
It looks like we may have college football back.
Stop. Stop. That's insanity. Pump the brakes on that shit. That is crazy.
Athletes are getting to report to University of Michigan.
I know, but that is insanity. How does that make sense?
I'm not saying it in front of fans. I'm just saying that.
I know, but how does that make sense?
I don't care. I don't want to make sense. I want my damn sports back.
We'll have pro sports.
I want everything.
Well, I get that, but that's nuts. It's just crazy talk.
On there, so yeah, we talked about that as well. A couple passings here is again Wes Unsled, former center of the Washington Bullets. That's right, the Washington Bullets.
Yes,
they were talking locally as here in the '90s, even though they were still the Wizards. There was a huge influx of people wearing Wes Unsled Washington Bullets jerseys back in the
nice.
Throwbacks, baby.
Nice.
And again, the late, great Johnny Majors, former football coach of the University of Pittsburgh, also was University of Tennessee's passed away at the age of 85. Led Pittsburgh to the NCAA championship in 1976 when Tony Dorsett also won the Heisman Trophy. So those were pretty sweet jerseys, too.
Yes.
Navy with that mustard yellow.
Yeah, well, I'm not a huge fan, but yes.
I liked those jerseys of the day.
Right.
All right, so we got lots to talk about as well.
Oh, my goodness. I don't even know where to go. I don't know how you're going to try to... Where do you want to start?
Let's go NBA, because they're hot, baby. They're back.
I was about to say, they're the ones that seem to be so gung-ho about just...
Good news is we don't have to watch our Pistons play because they're not making the playoffs, so thank God.
Yeah, well, they won't be part of the 22 teams, roughly, that are going to be involved in this scenario that they're putting forth. I don't know that this is green-lighted yet, though, Moose. I mean, this is all just talk, right?
Board of Governors has approved it. I think the players are talking about, looks like they are probably on board. So this will be basic. And again, I think where this is going to happen is they're going to get this 1 week playoff play-in for those teams that are close, so that's why they got 22.
Right.
Then they'll go with the playoffs. Probably a wrap up here first or second week in October. And I don't think they're going to start the new season until Christmas. That's perfect.
Right.
Which is, and again, I think that might be the going forward is we'll play a little bit later into the summer, and we'll just start up Christmas, which I think is the perfect thing on it because you know what, you have a capped audience on Christmas Day.
Well, I get what you're trying to do there.
That way you don't have to compete against the NFL for the first month and a half.
I think if you're going to make changes, now is your chance. You kind of have a mulligan here where you can kind of do whatever the hell you want, and however it kind of pans out. If it turns out to like just be a disaster, you just don't do it when you just go back to normal when we can. But I don't know about starting the season at Christmas because I know the league doesn't kick up until then, but like there's the reason isn't entirely football. It's because it takes basketball a minute to get some momentum and get some things going, and you got to get some matchups and some wins, some losses. You got to see what's going to happen here. Things have to kind of develop. If you just start off on Christmas Day, I think you kind of blow your wad on one day, because then people just back right off of it again. I think you go in, you pick a weekend where or a day or time in between some NFL stuff for your big, season opener games and home openers and all that stuff. And then, yes, it's shorter, and yes, it's shifted more. And instead of it being game whatever, you're only 10 games into the season come Christmas. You know what I mean? But, and maybe start in November or something like that.
What you do is, because this year it's going to end so much later than it will normally on there.
I mean, imagine what you could do on, like, if NBA took over, like, like Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving. There's no football.
No college, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, like, their opening day. Like, what's wrong with maybe trying that? And then I think you have basketball. It's got a little bit of a running start.
You got, was it Thanksgiving usually wraps up the regular season, then usually that first weekend in December is the conference championships for all the college football.
Right.
So you do it the following weekend after that.
Right.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, but this year they may push it back and just see how it goes, and then tweak it for future references on it. Right. Because again, if you go to mid-July out there, but you don't start up till December and that, so what?
Oh, yeah. As far as finishing up this season and then that's for the gap between seasons. Yeah. I mean, I get that.
Even 2020-21 season, it's going to be not the norm on there. You're going to have to really look to a 21-22 season where they're going to actually probably have everything fine-tuned.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely.
On that. And that's why I think is, again, but yeah, if you start a little bit later, go a little bit later, and then basically is your first big push, say you're 7 to 10 games into the season is Christmas Day, then that's fine. You know what? I know with it. Because, you're not competing against anybody really in May and June anyways. Yeah, you got baseball, but, whatever. I mean, it's baseball's fine during the day or whatever, daytime game, but you can casually on there. But if you got NBA playoffs going through the whole month of June, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. The guys still got July and August off, September off, and it's basically, okay, now I'm going to start getting it back, training camp and that, in sometime late October, early November.
Right.
I'll start working out that. I think that's the best scenario with it. Because, again, same thing with college basketball. Yeah, you have the non-conference on there, but your conference schedule doesn't start till New Year's.
Right.
And that's when you really start with college hoops. With it. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens hockey, too. I don't know what's going to happen there. They're talking, again, like a playoff, opening it up to, 24 teams, and then they're going to an extended playoff run.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff, some of the ideas that I've heard float around are pretty interesting, I think. I don't mind some crazy stuff, but I don't think you want to get too overboard. What do you guys think of some of these ideas? What have you guys been hearing that you like, dislike? 313-307-5340. Also, the Facebook page is live, so you can get in the chat room there, as well as at our YouTube channel. So go ahead and do it over there. The YouTube's in HD. It looks really good. Not that you want to see our ugly asses in HD, but there you go. I like shortening a lot of these seasons. I don't know, man. Like some of the crazy stuff the NBA was talking about with with like if the 8th seed is not more than 4 games ahead, then they're gonna have like a tournament playoff thing to decide. Like that stuff, that you're just complicating shit too much. Like
Keep it simple, stupid.
yeah, I mean seriously, I don't I don't know where they're gonna go with any of that stuff. We'll see, I guess, but it just feels like you want to take it easy. You want to keep it simple. So as far as this year goes, though, I mean, I don't know especially with the NBA, what would be the benefit of having playing these 8 games? I'm not sure what the point is.
I'm not sure either.
I mean, are seedings that close that maybe 8 games makes a difference? Are you trying to me, it almost feels like, okay, you know what I want to know? Maybe you can look this up. Is how many games back is Zion, the Zion Williamsons? Because that's all they care about right now. How many games out of the playoffs are there?
3.5 games.
So that's a 4 games. So that makes sense why you have 8 games.
Right, because
you're trying to give them a chance to get in.
Portland, New Orleans, and Sacramento are all 3.5 games behind Memphis.
Right.
San Antonio's 4 games behind.
So you're trying to give them all a chance to get in.
You look on the East. I mean, Washington's the next one down out. They're 5.5 games behind Orlando. They're not making it.
No, they're not in.
So are you going to just disband all conferences and just go by best record?
You almost have to at this point.
Because if they're all playing at one facility, say in Orlando,
right,
at the ESPN's facility there, and
right,
just basically you just go game after game after game all day, you got no fans, so you could play 5 games in one day. Or 4 games in one day.
Well, yeah, as long as you can work out the TV schedule and logistics. It's the logistics of getting these teams, around each other where they're not on top of each other.
Right.
Because the last thing you want to do is just put the whole league in one room.
Right. I mean, the plus side is they got probably multiple facilities there and they can set them all up, but you can have boom, boom, boom. I mean, you can have, say, 2 gyms. You go one's at a 2 o'clock start in the afternoon.
Well, if you've got 2 gyms going, then you're in business because
then you can get 4. I mean, even if you got 8 games, you can get 4 games or 4 games every day. Boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Both with honors. So what? I mean, who knows what? I mean, if you can get it started early enough, then you just go all day long.
Well, the cool thing about that is you don't have to stretch your playoffs out, right? They stretch them out with home and away and travel and days off.
There's no travel.
There's none of that because
you're not having weeks off between.
Right. There's none of that between rounds or anything.
Yeah, you're not having. We got 4 days off between games 2 and 3.
Right. The only thing physically you'd be waiting on would be the outcome of the other, and then it would just be bam.
You're playing every other day.
Yeah. The only thing that would keep anybody sitting would be the fact that you're waiting on another team to.
And that's it.
To advance, and that would be it. There'd be no travel time. There'd be none of that. So, I do like that aspect about it. I heard crazy stuff about letting the home. They're trying to find ways to give the home team an advantage on home games where they're essentially all playing in the same gym. And I've heard some of the craziest fucking shit thrown out there, give one guy an extra foul a game before he fouls out. A designated player. I've heard an extra, coach's challenge review. I've heard you know what the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard was that came out of it? These ones were actually suggested in the NBA thing.
I would have suggested one out there. You're just looking at me like
all of these were mentioned, and I'm going to give you the dumbest one that was ever mentioned. Letting the teams bring their actual floor from their home stadium for their games. That is neither time nor cost effective in any way, shape, or form, nor does it fall in line with any kind of safety protocol as far as mitigating, the spread of this disease right now while we don't have.
Right, because also, too, is, okay, you got home, but what about the team that's also playing on that same floor later in the day or earlier in the day?
Right.
What are they on there? I mean, you can say it's all right, the favorite, the higher seed team, the lower seed team, their 3-point stance is a foot longer.
Yeah.
During when you're at the basket you're shooting at is 10 foot, the other team is 11 foot.
No, right. I mean, it's just there's some crazy stuff they're putting out there for this. I don't know. I just think that how do you purposely slant it in the way of one team or another. Like I just don't think you could do that.
If you're the 1 seed and you're playing the 8 seed, you don't need that much of an advantage because you're already at an advantage. You're the
well, I'm sorry. Like, well, that's the other thing too. Well, stop with all this stuff. Getting an advantage. Well, you don't have home court advantage. Well, either do they.
Right.
So you guys are in this together. So why the fuck are we trying to slant things one way or the other when they're in it together? It's not like one conference is going to travel and have home and away and the other conference is going to be stuck in a building. They're all going to be stuck in the same fucking building.
Here's the thing.
Like, what's it matter?
Out here again, because we're saying so stupid. All right, say they keep the conferences. Orlando stays the 8th seed and Milwaukee is the 1 seed. You know what Orlando's home record is? 16-15. You know what Milwaukee's road record is? 25-9. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
What's Milwaukee's home record? 28-3.
All right.
What's Orlando's road record? 14-20. There it is.
Yeah.
Talent is that's your advantage.
Well,
you're
when
just better than them.
When you're all on neutral site, you're all on a neutral site. Stop with that. All of you are on neutral site. It's nothing. Like you were going to go and play in Spain and Japan and China and all that other shit, right? The fuck is the difference with this? What the fuck's the difference?
What are you going to do when the Lakers play the Clippers? Because they play in the same damn stadium.
It's like the home team that goes to fucking London in the NFL. Did they do anything to help him out? No. Shut the fuck up with that nonsense. Play the fucking games. Worry about other things like how you're going to keep 300 fucking guys from not going around the town of South Beach. Or Orlando, or wherever the fuck you're at. How are you going to keep all of them motherfuckers contained and isolated? How are you going to do that? That to me, that's more what you need to be worried about than trying to figure out how you could force a slant one way or the other when you don't need to because you guys are all at a goddamn neutral site. That makes no motherfucking sense to me. Am I the only one they're talking about this shit all nationwide and no one has even mentioned this shit? Am I fucking insane?
I don't think that.
Am I the only one with ears, or we're gonna have this conversation next week about how tomorrow and the next day, everybody's now talking about this shit because I blew a fucking gasket on this fucking low budget podcast. The fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I don't think the nightlife in Orlando is all that to be cracked up to be.
I don't care. You've been on lockdown for how long? You can't do anything for how long? Now all of a sudden you're in a place where you pretty much got free reign and you're going to tell cats they can't go nowhere? I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. Some cats are not going to want to go.
Right.
There's nothing there for them. It's not worth the risk. You're right. The vets ain't going to go. But all them young cats are going to go and it doesn't matter. You get a couple of them go out and it's all over. It's the whole group. They're all sweating on each other. What do you want?
What are you gonna do when one guy tests
positive? What kind of lawsuit are you opening yourself up for?
You better work out some frame line too.
Like, I mean, come on, man. We're talking about like how to slant competitive balance one way or the other over home court. I mean, but you're not talking about this fucking shit. Like, what is your legal culpability if somebody gets sick on your fucking dime, homie, and then spreads it around the motherfucking thing because of the way you're doing business? Have you thought about any of that? Have we addressed any of that? Have we? Is that in that fucking article?
No, it's not.
Okay. I don't get it then.
If you're a younger player and you're the one who basically sneaks out or whatever and tests positive, and because you can't stay in your room or your resort or whatever, dude, there's got to be some ramification. Right. Again, it's not a fine, dude. You're done. You're out of the league for at least a year or two.
Well, and then you start doing shit like that. Then who's even going? Why don't I just sit out?
I'm hurt.
Yeah. Ow. I pulled a hammy.
I pulled my groin.
Yeah, my balls hurt. My beanbags all sore and stuff. I mean, why play then?
I got back spasms.
I mean, the inmates run the asylum in that league. Why play? I wouldn't play. I mean, if you're going to lock me down and you're going to kick me out of the league if I get out one day or whatever the case may be, maybe I don't want to play then. Maybe I just sit out a year. Now you got to penalize them for that? Yeah. Because they'll just say it's COVID. They'll just say, hey, dude, I don't feel comfortable.
And there's that, too.
And that's legit.
You're trying everything on there to get this going on there. There's got to be a drop dead point where you just say, now we're just going to shut it down and sorry, there's not a champion this year.
I mean, this is, to me, it's just so much, it's so
Because, again,
greed.
these are-
It's so much greed. Like, Moose, we came in hot off the mic talking about, bring us our sports. I don't care. I want it all. But, I mean, realistically speaking, like, what in the fuck are they doing here? None of this makes sense to me. How this can be.
I mean, it's all on there. Like now, again, we're able to go outside and practice, travel softball and that. But then you go, okay, what are they going to do about tournament wise? I mean, again, how are you going to social distance? Well, you can't social distance with the kids and that, but you're outside and on there. But I mean, we've got a tournament that's supposed to be in Cedar Point. Now they're talking about opening up with 25% capacity, and you're going to have to walk around a mask. And these kids are going to be doing. These kids aren't going to want to do that at the end of July.
Right.
I'm not doing that at the end of July. Hell with that. We're staying at the Breakers. I'll just go to the beach with a cooler and sit there and get drunk.
Right. Yeah.
I ain't walking around an amusement park because you get standing in line. You can't stand in line. Oh, you got to be all 6 feet apart. Oh, you can't fill up the roller coaster because you got to go every other one person per cart and alternate. And one row is empty and on there. So it's like, no. And then, of course, there's a tournament in Midland, and that's not even canceled officially, but they're not going to have a game there in a tournament in Midland.
Nope.
And that's not because of COVID. It's a whole scenario there.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, if and that's a whole nother thing here in Michigan. It's a Michigan problem, and you guys know all the stuff going on in the country. Michigan is never going to get their goddamn money for that fucking flood shit.
No.
I mean, Flint still don't have clean water. Detroit still ain't recovered from the riots in '68, and you think fucking Midland's going to get their fucking federal funding from after this situation between, governor and president? You think that's going to fucking happen?
No.
It isn't. It's going to be fucking ugly. So, those are all things that people aren't thinking about logistically when it comes to sports, okay? We're not exclusive to our own problems. Every little part of the region or part of the country has their own little thing going on. So, other cats were hit with floods before. We've had fucking tornadoes come through here since we've had the virus come through this country. So, there are other places, and when are they going to see their fucking money? You know what I'm saying? We're diverting money to all this other shit. We don't even have money to give away. We
got hurricane season ramping up.
Bam! It's coming right around the fucking corner.
It's already there. There's a tropical storm that's going to hit
Look
the Gulf
what's
States.
going on in this country. I'm sorry, this is about sports, and we come here to talk about sports, but you cannot put blinders up to what's going on in this country if you think you're going to fucking play sports, okay? So look at all this stuff coming down. I mean, literally the whole world's burning to the fucking ground around us. Just ask California and Australia, okay? So over the last 6 months, it feels like the earth is coming to a fucking end, and you want to jam football and basketball and all this crazy shit in the middle of all this. I just don't see how any of this shit, all this talk, is even feasible. I love hearing about it. I love that it's fodder for the show. I love people that are talking about it, and we're trying to make moves to move forward. We have to absolutely move this thing forward. But why are there so many glaring questions right in front of us that we're just blatantly not answering? We're just blowing right over them like that ain't shit. Wait a minute. And this is the same shit I got heat for when COVID came out. When all that COVID shit hit, and I said shit to my bosses and my job and people that I talk to, my friends, my family, whatever, I say, they're like, you can't look down this way. Well, that's right in front of us. What do you mean? I'm not saying open up the butterfly effect and jump down every wormhole you find about every fucking little thing that could possibly fucking happen in every millionth of a fucking scenario. No. I'm talking about the shit that's right in front of you that you can see with your own fucking two eyes that we're blatantly just not addressing. Okay. The shit is gotta fucking be addressed before you can think of any of this other stuff. Hey, let's worry about how we're gonna, slant the fucking thing, but we don't know how we're gonna keep anybody safe. We want to keep competitive balance on a certain way, but we don't know how we're gonna keep anybody safe or how we're going to keep them in a place or where we're going to put the fucking floor or if we're even going to have a country that's going to allow it to happen. What if there's still more protesters out everywhere? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's that TV contract going to do for you if nobody's watching it and everybody's protesting? What if this thing snowballs even more? What if? There's so many other things that, we can't go down all those holes. Well, but there are some simple ones that I've mentioned that we can get that they're not addressing.
But there's also, it gets better too. Because there's an asteroid the size of an NFL stadium coming careening towards Earth.
Right? Why not? Why not? It's here to kill the murder hornets. Just let it hit us. It'll kill all the murder hornets, and we'll be fine. It's fine. It's nothing to see here. Let's play some fucking basketball.
Before we turn to ash.
I mean, if you get one last jump shot, it's not at the buzzer. It's like, oh shit, before this asteroid hits the building, the last shot of mankind, and it's LeBron James with a brick.
Clang. Air ball. Whoosh.
And that is the legacy of mankind in sports as the planet is eviscerated by a meteor.
Andre Drummond has to hit a free throw.
Yes.
Clang.
Death to all.
You make it, the asteroid misses us. You miss it, clang, boof.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
But baseball can't. They can't help themselves on this one.
No, they can't.
Like, the owners come up with an 82 game scenario. Players say no way in hell. Players come out with 114 games. I don't know how they're going to get 114 games in beyond me. And the owners like no way in hell.
You're not going to. I don't know what. I just don't know what they think sometimes. 313-307-5340. What do you think? I'm sorry about having an aneurysm on the
But
show.
you know, did you hear the good news is there's talks. Tyson Fury versus
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
I posted that on our page at one point, and I would love to fucking see that. I'd love to see that because
if I'm going out with an asteroid hit me, I want to see that fight. Damn it,
dude! I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not want to be Tyson Fury. No. I'm sorry, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he's no Mike. And if Mike is half of what he used to be, I'm sorry.
If Mike looks half as good as he's looking
right now,
saying.
If he's half of what he used to be, man, he will fucking put down fucking
the Gypsy King.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like
the
guy.
He'll use that reach. He'll get inside it and he'll
destroy him. If he's half as good as he used to be. So it's like, man, if he's Buster Douglas Mike Tyson, I think he beats him up. Let alone, you know.
But if he's Michael Spinks Mike Tyson, he's gonna kill him.
It's murder. And that's kind of wild. That's hard to say about somebody that age to be coming back after such a layoff. But you know, that's kind of
testosterone therapy, man.
Hey, man, that TRT's a motherfucker.
Got old man strength, young person's reflexes, and old man mind. To go,
yeah, man.
I know everything already. I've been through it all. But man, I'm quick now.
Yeah, I mean that's just impressive stuff.
Make it happen.
I'd love to see it.
Make it
I don't care who the promoter is. Put it on. I'd love to see that. No, that'd be great.
Take my money.
To me, I just feel
my kids don't need to go to college.
Right. To me, I just feel like there's so much going on right now. There's so many uncertainties still for them to make as many certainties as I feel that they're making at the moment. So, though I feel we'll get these games in soon enough, I just feel like once again, you're getting back to the problem we had before, right? And y'all thought I was crazy then when they were when leagues are trying to drop dates so quickly, and it's like they can't do that, and then they've had to backtrack on every single one of them. Right. So let's pump the brakes on this a little bit, man. I feel like the talks are good. You have a place where you can have the stuff go on. That's good. Pretty soon you're going to have other states that are going to start allowing you to do this stuff. Like, why are we trying to shoehorn this thing when in maybe, in a few weeks, you might be able to have multiple states where you could have a regional aspect and maybe you change the whole outlook of how you do this. You know what I mean? Like, why are we trying to shoehorn everything into Orlando right now? I feel like that's a panic move that everybody's doing. It's different for Dana White to take those guys and set up a cage in a building and throw fights. It's different for Vince McMahon, where he's got a venue down there, he's got a building, and God damn it, half of his talent live down there. You know what I'm saying? In fact, 90% of the talent he's using currently that he didn't furlough or let go is from down there because they stay down there and work the Performance Center. So they bring all those new guys up you don't know because they're cheap, they're there, and there's no fuss, no muss. And they're just using them not because they're good, but because they're cheap and available.
I mean, the plus side is if you, well, again, also
so you could do it on those levels, but how do you do it on a level as grand as a whole league.
Yeah, because players aren't flying commercial. Everybody's got either you're flying coach or you got your own plane.
Right. So I just don't know how you're doing all this stuff. There's just so much going on and so many moving pieces that they've never really talked about. How are you guaranteeing that you procure all the appropriate tests that you say you're going to run, that you need to run, when hospitals aren't guaranteed?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you get them. You get the initial ones, and all you need is the next, 20,000. And then all of a sudden they don't come in.
We on hold?
Then what?
Yeah.
Or what happens if someone does come up positive, and now all of a sudden your testing has to ramp up, and you can't, and you have to pull the fucking plug on the league anyway? Like, these are all things we've mentioned already,
but
they have not addressed any of them.
Well, they haven't made public what they have addressed. I mean, they may have.
But they made this shit public.
Well, of course they did.
Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Tell me what you're gonna do to see that you can even implement this shit.
Well, yeah.
Because you told me we were gonna go play ball fucking 6 weeks ago, and it didn't happen. Then you said 4 weeks ago, and it didn't happen. Then you said 2 weeks ago that we'll start getting into fucking things or whatever. And now all of a sudden you have this. You're proclaiming this whole format that you're gonna fucking start running shit, when you have not addressed any of the things that are preventing you from doing that in the first fucking place. We're not addressing any of it. It seems like the only thing they had to address was a place where they'd be allowed to fucking do it. That's the only thing that they were worried about. They didn't address anything else. What else did they fucking address?
That's it. They addressed it, who's going to play and where they're playing. That's it.
That's it. That's the only thing they give a fuck about. Is where were they going to fucking play the games? Where were they going to
start?
Where could they make money? That's it. Did they talk? Is there been a player survey? How many of these guys want to play?
Right.
Why is that not made public? If you've done that already, if you had conversations with the Players Association, I haven't heard about it.
No.
Why the fuck isn't that part of the public conversation? Now, this isn't meteors and asteroids and fucking and murder hornets and any of this other crazy shit. This isn't civil unrest. This isn't any of that. This is what's right in front of you. What has always been right in front of you
from the
since
beginning.
Day one.
Yep,
and you have addressed none of it.
Says that Wednesday in March.
Yep. You've addressed none of it. I just don't get it. I mean,
no.
Fuck, educate me, motherfuckers. Educate me. 313-307-5340. Somebody educate me. Because it's fucking crickets right now. Other than, I'm getting some thumbs up and shit. But, I mean, fuck.
Right. Neither the NHL or the NHL's talking about their own stadiums on there on it, but yeah, neither of them are getting.
Canada's locked down till September.
Right.
What are you talking about, NHL? What are you going to do? Well, bring motherfuckers in? They can't even come over? What about these other countries and how locked down they are and whether they can even use their fucking passport? That's why WWE's got to use scrubs because all their guys are in the UK and they can't get them fucking back here.
But it doesn't matter about Canadian teams anyways because they're not going to win the Stanley Cup. They haven't won it since '93. So.
Well, but that's the whole part of this thing is that that's an international sport. So now you're talking about things that are even further. Why do you think so many fights got scrubbed for the UFC shit? Because the international fighters, they couldn't get over here.
Yeah. You got all the guys.
I don't care what state of lockdown your country is, stay the fuck out of mine right now. Okay? Just stay the fuck. I don't care where you are or who you are. That's my attitude. If I'm in Japan, don't fucking come here, motherfucker. We know what we're doing. We only had 800 deaths. Get out. Keep your cooties the fuck out of here. If I'm in, if I'm in Spain or China, you stay at your fucking own place. Like, so if you have an international game, no. If you have international players, what's the fucking difference?
Well, the good news.
We haven't addressed that either.
You know what the good news is, though? There's not going to be a London game this year.
No, there's not going to be any expansion of the NFL to other countries because it's stupid. Now it's irresponsible. But before it was stupid.
Now it's stupid and irresponsible.
Now it's stupid and irresponsible.
So that's the good news.
Yeah.
The Lions don't have to go over to London.
No. No, we get to sit here and watch them die on television. In person. Because, not really in person because we're not going to ever see them play again.
Right. Which is fine.
This will be the fucking year they actually win something.
Of course.
When no one can fucking see it. It's like a tree in the fucking woods.
When
Moose.
no one can go live.
There'll be 4.5 people watching. No, not 4.5 billion. 4.5 watching as the Lions win. I don't even think that'll be the staff. But, yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that they just have not addressed. And I don't understand how you can have these other conversations without having those first. Podcast over. Show's over. We're done. Nothing else to fucking talk about. I murdered everything.
We've covered
I came in and I fucking murdered everything. I'm the Jason Voorhees of fucking sports podcasting. I just came in and murdered everything. What else you got for me? I'll kill them too. Extendo on the chat room. What's up? Joe, Diana, come on. Throw them at me. I'm going to murder them too. What do you got?
NASCAR.
Nah, man. Because you know what? NASCAR just needs to sit down and shut up. Because, like, right now, NASCAR, like, the last thing they want to do is have anybody say anything. You just got done with the racist fucking comments in NASCAR. You don't even want to talk NASCAR right now, okay? Just let that redneck-in non-sport sport be a sport in its own little non-sport sport little planet. You can go fucking do circles around and fucking whoop-de-fucking-woo.
Yeah, because you get guys that basically played in simulators are now winning in NASCAR.
Yeah. I'm not hearing it. I'm sorry. I'm
a killer at Grand Theft Auto. Can I be in NASCAR?
Can I be a NASCAR? I am great. And that's with obstacles in the way. Imagine if I had nothing in the way. I could totally be awesome. I'm doing this running from the police.
I got hookers running from me. I'm running over.
I'm dodging citizens. I'm jumping medians, going over bridges. I'm breaking through police barricades. Fuck. I'm great at this shit. If there's nothing in front of me, I'm going to kill you all. God damn. Like, how hard is that? I don't even have to pick a direction. Like, I don't have to guess. Like, there's no weird turn coming. It's just a fucking circle.
All I got to do is make a left turn. I don't have to turn right. I have to make a U-E.
Essentially, I get my car going as fast as I want, and then I can just count the seconds to when the turn would be. I could fucking drive with my eyes closed, motherfucker. God damn.
What? I can't get out, though, and grab a shotgun and shoot somebody?
I
don't know if I want to.
Now people are mad because we're marginalizing NASCAR. Yeah, both fans are very angry. Both NASCAR fans are very angry.
You know who should be angry is Dallas fans because Dak Prescott turned down $35 million. He turned down like they were offering him 40. You
know why they should be fucking mad? Because of the way they fucking draft. That's why they should be fucking mad. That they even have a Dak Prescott situation is what they should be fucking mad about.
Yeah.
How they handle shit inside the four walls of fucking Jerry's world. That's what they should be fucking mad about. Fuck the Dak Prescott and his money and whether he kept it or not. Dude, if you think you got leverage and you can make more money, go for it. Bye. Do what you got to do. I don't give a... Dude, you think he's that good anyway? He's not a top 10 quarterback.
No, he's
I'm not fighting for you then. I'm not fighting for anybody that isn't top 10. If you're top 15, you got some flexibility there, but I'm not fighting for anybody that isn't top 10.
No.
You know what I'm saying? If you're top 15, then we can have a conversation. If you're under the top 15, I'm hunting for somebody else. I'm looking for somebody else already, so fucking say what you got to say. I'm going to pull the Patriots and put some guy in there that nobody's ever heard of. He's got a name of a plumber.
That's why they said. That's why they traded for Andy Dalton. That's why they signed him.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Russell Wilson. Mahomes is going to get a $200 million deal.
Right.
But then again, you can't argue with it because dude won an MVP and a Super Bowl within 2 years. He won a Super Bowl in his second year as a starter.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get paid because he deserves it.
Right.
What is Dak Prescott player in football? Yeah, Dak Prescott isn't in that ballpark. He's not there. He's not even close. He's not even in the top 10 at his position, let alone the most dynamic player in the game right now.
No.
And that's the difference. And that's why I love it when people like to compare. And that's where the bubble's going to pop, right? Because this is what it's been an epidemic in the league for years, where the next guy just gets the biggest contract. This is where the bubble finally fucking pops. When you get the guy that is absolutely, without a doubt, the most electrifying player in the game at the moment. So he is the Jordan of the NFL right now. So you cannot, in any good conscience, ever pay anybody more than him right now in this current construct.
Right.
So all those bubbles of all those people just getting the next contract being bigger, all that shit is done.
Right.
We finally got the guy that could put a fucking stop to it. And it needs to, because it doesn't help the league any. If you want the league to be healthy, contracts, I don't mind guys getting big money contracts. It just means salary caps have to go up. Profit sharing has to go up. Things like that. That's collectively bargained. That has nothing to do with me. The players need to stick together and stick to their guns and not fucking bow down every fucking time and actually stand up for something. And then they can get that shit. So when I look at it from another perspective, I just, this is what's got, just, I don't know.
I mean, you look at the different. All right, say you take Russell Wilson and you take Dak Prescott. Look what Russell Wilson could do in Dak Prescott. You think Russell Wilson what he could do if he had Dak Prescott's team?
Oh yeah, I mean, once again, I can go on and on. I mean, just off the top of your head, active quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott. I mean, that list goes pretty quick. It's fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I can run down a shit ton of them before I get to Dak Prescott. I could probably even hit Stafford before I get to Dak Prescott.
Yes. Right.
So
again, Stafford. I mean, he has nothing, and he still look what he was doing before he got it.
Right. With a broken back.
With a broken back.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just not. I'm not hearing it from him. I'm hearing it from Dak. So it is what it is. Like I said, Dallas fans could be angry about the Dak Prescott situation, but they really need to be angry about the situation that got him there.
Jerry Jones should have drafted a damn quarterback.
Yeah,
like last year and say, fine, bye.
I love it because there's no more excuses, and he's going to try to use a shortened season camp, the weird things, all the different things that go down this year that everybody's going to have to deal with. He's going to use that as an excuse to why they have fallen on their face once again. And this is not going to end well. And Dak, I think, doesn't want to be a part of it either. As much as he wants to get his money, I don't know that he wants to be a part of that shit show over there. Maybe that's what's motivating this. We don't know. We don't know.
He may want out of Dallas.
I'm sorry. We don't know. I just got done outlining why you should be mad at every other thing but Dak Prescott when he's the focal point of your anger. And so maybe those are the things that he's angry about, why he's doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it isn't all purely money. Maybe he thinks I can get a little bit more money, or maybe I just get a little bit more respect. I can get treated better. I can be on a better team. I don't have to be around this fucking circus. All that shit. It's the same thing. I've left jobs for less money because I didn't want the fucking headache, the circus, the sideshow, the bullshit that went along with it. So how do we know that isn't part of his equation? I don't know what his equation is for this.
He's not even the best quarterback in his state.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Like we're sitting here killing him because he isn't that and he isn't this and what is he thinking, demanding this stuff? But maybe that's not. Maybe we don't know the whole story. Maybe that's not what it's all about. Maybe that's part of it, and it should be part of it. But maybe that's not all of it. Maybe there's part of them going, maybe I'm going to run it up on them, and if they give it to me, I'll stay, and if they don't, I'll just go somewhere where I think I'll be happier. Like, this is the price it is for me to stay here, but it's not the price for me to play.
Right.
And
I'll be happy to go somewhere else.
That could be. I mean, some guys do that. They say, you know what? I'll play here for this price, but I'll play anywhere for less. And maybe that's what it's all about. And so, I don't know.
We'll see. They got a whole new coaching regime there with Mike McCarthy. So
that's the other part of it. What kind of relationship does he have with McCarthy? Does he think he's got a future there with that guy at coach? There's a lot of different variables that we don't know. We haven't gotten inside of Dak's head. But, outwardly holding off and not taking that money just on the surface, it looks kind of insane, batshit insane. Take it and be happy because you shouldn't. There's no way that you're justified more. Or that you could, at least in the conversations that we're having here now. I just don't. I don't see it. So, but whatever. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know. You may, again, have confidence in your ability in there, but don't overvalue yourself because, again, Cam Newton can't get a job.
yeah, I was about to say, bam. I was about to say, what happened to Cam? I mean,
Cam's won an MVP and gone to a Super Bowl.
right. He's overestimated his value, what people, and look where he's at now.
Right.
So,
Javion Clowney can't get a job
no. Yeah.
because he wants too much money.
Yep.
It's like, dude, no. You're hurt all the time. You take plays off, and that ain't happening.
Right.
Glancing here, CBS Under, they've got their franchise 5 or whatever, and I have again an issue because they got this the Buccaneers coach, their franchise 5 coach John Gruden over Tony Dungy. Yeah, I know Gruden won a Super Bowl, but it was Dungy's team.
Right.
Dungy basically took
Yeah.
a team that was hot garbage and got
Yep.
him into a perennial contender.
Yep.
Got him to the various edge of the Super Bowl. Just couldn't get a damn quarterback to get it. And Gruden comes in there then the first year and wins it, and then basically destroys the team.
Basically.
And Dungy goes to Indianapolis and wins the Super Bowl. Don't give me that. Dungy's better than Gruden.
I don't know.
I saw that. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with that? Just irritating the best out of me.
Yeah, that is aggravating as hell. I don't know. I don't know what to say. We have a whole world of blind people that just don't see what's right in front of them. That's all I can say. It's not just sports. It's not just sports. It's like real life. Oh man. Sad state of affairs, but the good thing is we will get some sports soon. You're gonna start seeing some kind of sports soon. We've already had things, we're already seeing things kind of come. Once again, UFC, the NASCAR stuff, golf, right? We're gonna have
Golf's coming back.
Yeah, we're gonna have golf coming back. That'll probably be really, pretty smooth. I would imagine they'd be able to pull that off. Well, they've already done some golf stuff.
Well, they was like the celebrity stuff
yeah,
on there.
but I mean, they,
And again, we weren't here last week over the Memorial Weekend. They had that celebrity foursome with Tiger and Peyton and versus Phil and Brady there. And again, it raised $20 million, man,
Right.
which is a good thing for the COVID on there.
Yep.
Peyton Manning's hysterical.
yeah,
I thought I had the best time watching because they had freaking Charles Barkley doing commentary on golf. He's trash talking Brady. Brady's trash talking. Gets Brady pissed off. Brady freaking eagles the damn hole. He goes, "Hey, there you go. You're on now." It's like shit.
that's cool. Yeah, I didn't.
I mean,
see it.
there's trash. I mean, I thought it was I thought I had a blast on there.
Well, see, that stuff's good, and that's what we need. So that's nice level. I didn't see it, so I wish I could. Now I kind of wish I would have.
If I'm ESPN and I saw what Peyton Manning had just doing his little trash talking and all that,
Right.
dude, back up the Brinks truck and say, "What do you need?
You're right.
We'll buy you an island, please."
Well, and with the way these games are going to be going, we know that they're going to be without a crowd. I mean, there's just no way you're going to be putting people in stadiums. So I'm kind of curious. The ambience is going to be different. It's going to be up to the play-by-play team and how are they going to handle that. Because, goddamn, it's going to be... I mean, think about it, Moose. Like, you don't have the crowds. You don't have the crowd noise. So now you're going to have to turn the mics down because you're going to hear every fucking word everybody says.
That's what I want.
You cannot have that on Sunday afternoons on television. You can't, Moose. As much as we got grown kids old enough to know better, you can't fucking do that shit.
You know they're going to just be brutal trash.
Oh, my God. It's going to be so bad, the stuff that you're going to end up hearing if you have mics on the field. Because there is no ambient
That's why
noise.
they don't. I mean,
And the shit's reflective, the sound
They
will
did
bounce
one
off
time.
everything.
I mean, years ago. I mean, we're looking at 40 years ago where they just basically did a game, NFL game, regular season, with no announcing. It was just kick up the parabolic mics and hear what the players say. And how many times they had to put it on like a 3-second delay.
Yes. Well, everything would have to be delayed, and you'd be dropping beeps everywhere, and it would just be really hard on the broadcast. So I just don't think you could do that. Do you put? We talked about jokingly putting in virtual crowds with virtual sound, but
You're going to have to pump in crowd noise.
I almost wonder if you do that, but how do you do that? How do you dictate when the noise is going up or down or going to be that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you dictate the flow? Is it, I don't know, man. Like that, to me, that seems like hard to do. I feel like they practice without the noise. They can play without the noise. I think from a broadcasting standpoint, you cannot allow those things to be picked up on the mic like that.
You're going to have to do some sort of delay on there and just not beep it, but just like tone it out.
Just
Kill
silence
the mic
it.
on there. You can basically in the booth, obviously, and in the truck and all that. And
You'd have to put everything on a delay, and then you'd have to silence all the cuss words. You don't have enough bodies to do that.
No.
You just don't, because it's hard to hear them all. It's hard to catch them all.
You would have to have almost 2 trucks just for the handle the microphones.
I mean, it's too many to try to isolate all of those. To me, you have to take this from a completely different standpoint, and you have to. You know what I like? I like the virtual crowd aspect of it, and let's say let's say the NFL allows you to have team chat rooms on their website. You know, where everybody can kind of get in, and you can get it on your webcam like they do now.
Yeah.
Or you can do on Facebook now, right? So let's say you do stuff like that, and then you pump that audio into the broadcast. Not into the stadium, into the broadcast. So let's say you have 120 people in this group, right? Whatever, 100 people in a group. You only have 20 people that are mic'd and a camera that are watching, that are part of this. You don't put them on camera or anything like that. Maybe you do on a production where they see, but not where you see on television. And you allow them to have that audio. It's less tracks to deal with. You still have that. You'll have even more play with that delay probably. I don't know. I think you have to be creative. I don't think that you can just let mics be hot, and I don't know that you can go dead silent with your current play-by-play situation. So what's your answer to that? I don't know what it is.
I would say probably you're going to have to, I mean, with the scenario of having...
You could pump in crowd noise from a broadcast standpoint.
Yeah.
And do it that way, and then you would basically, it'd be like a laugh track on a sitcom, a closed studio sitcom where they put the fake laugh tracks on. It'd be the equivalent of that. I don't know how long you could listen to that before you'd be like sick of hearing the same 3 cheers over and over again.
Use.
You know what I mean?
I like the aspect of having like each team's like super fans or whatever,
right?
Having them pumping in with the broadcast, and again, of course, you're gonna have to warn these guys. You're gonna have to keep it clean, otherwise, you get booted, you're out.
Yeah. You just boot them out and bring somebody else.
We're not just gonna buzz you. We're just booting you out, and that's it. You lose your chance on there.
Yeah, you drop something.
I mean, you could do some trash talking, and you could do some whatever on it. I mean, but keep it clean.
Right.
I mean, usually is the best guys, the hecklers on there, they keep it clean.
Right.
I mean, they've got some great lines.
The best hecklers don't say, absolutely. But, it's one of those things where you got to,
Or you just get the best, I mean, because you can technically put these people in the stands, and if there's the mics on there, they'll hear you. I mean, you can get, the Brow. I mean, notorious great heckler here. I mean, they'll hear you because there's nobody drowning you out, and you just go.
All right.
I mean, of course, he kept it clean and just go, holy crap, dude, and just brutal.
I think, I think that's going to be interesting how they handle that. What do the stadiums look like? The camera shots going to look like with nobody in the backdrop? Where it really all depends. Everybody's just assuming that you're playing in an empty stadium, but realistically speaking, there's no need for a fucking stadium. It's just you just need a nice field with a roof on the motherfucker.
They got the facilities are smaller on there, but the court is the court.
Right.
The nice thing about basketball is the court's a uniform.
Yes. In a basketball scenario, the court is a court. Even in a football scenario, for me,
football, it's the same. Hockey, there's a little tweak, but I think they're all pretty much all the same size now.
Yeah.
In the old days, there used to be different variances of size, but they're all pretty much uniform.
So it's
now.
baseball. It's really the difference.
It's each field is unique to
yeah.
its own stadium.
Right. So, but yeah. So I just feel like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna probably have to get creative with that, or it's just gonna be an unusual looking sound for us, because I don't know how you can allow the mics to be down there on the field with these guys and nothing to muffle that sound. All that dialogue. There's just no way. So besides, you don't want to do that anyway, right? You don't want to have all the different dialogue on the TV tape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's too easy to, do some kind of like, some kind of gate. Maybe some new gate out.
Are you saying you could basically tweak that and doctor it and basically repost it on something else?
I mean, what I'm saying is I could directly beam that audio to somebody's fucking earbud, and you couldn't right in real time. Yeah, I'm saying I could do that super easy. Yeah, and you'd be able to hear stuff that maybe you couldn't hear normally.
Yes.
So, like huddle shit. So yeah, I could easily.
But if I
do
wanted
that.
to pay a premium dollar and hear the actual trash talk on it, I should be able to allow to.
That'd be neat for the NFL Network. That's what I think you have an opportunity.
TV or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think
And take that money and use it to go to various charities like either COVID or
right. Well, I would go strictly right. Yeah, either COVID or social justice. That'd be the only two things right now that are our deal right now. So I would go with one of those two.
So if you want
items.
the unaltered or basically rated.
Yeah, get a subscription to NBA thing or NFL thing, or you could do it a one-time off here and there or whatever, and then you'd have access to being able to hear all that stuff, and maybe not the commentators or something, or you could have a choice to do both, or maybe if you do it on the website, you have control over the audio. And you can I can turn the commentators down, and I can turn the mic. That'd be dope as hell. That'd be so dope. I'd pay for that in real life. In regular time,
See? We've solved problems.
we're fucking geniuses. What the fuck's my money?
By
You
the
can
way,
send your money to our PayPal account at
this is all
studio57radio@gmail.com.
trademarked and copyrighted.
Yes, yes, it is. We've aired it here. It is live. It is
It's
recorded
gonna be
in multiple
recorded
formats.
and if you pull this off, our lawyers could be talking to you.
Yes, if this guy, we want our motherfucking money. But
Baby.
that would be so sweet. I mean, I think people would pay for that inside track.
I would.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially like, oh my God.
Maybe you get maybe you get some access to some other stuff as well.
NFL, they're playing empty day. NFL ticket, baby. Guess what you get on the NFL ticket? You get parabolic mics kicked up.
Right. And you know what? Now is a great time to do it because nobody's going to the games. So now more and more people want to watch the games, are going to probably up their intake, obviously, because we're starving for it, right?
Yeah.
So intake would be super high. So to offer a service like that, it would probably blow up.
Adam
Like
Silver,
I said, I would watch that in regular
Adam
times.
Silver and Reggie Goodell, call me.
Yes. You can give us a holla at 313-307-5340. All payments can be made via PayPal at studio57radio@gmail.com.
Or a briefcase full of cash.
Yeah, we non-sequential bills. Nothing over $100. It's
Yes.
a pain in the ass to break.
That's right. Use unmarked bills.
Yes, we'll take all of that. Life will be good.
Don't give me a safety deposit box.
Oh my god!
It ain't going to no bank because that way the feds know how much I made. I'll make deposits of like a $1,000. Here you go. 2 months later, Here you go.
Oh man! All right, we've ripped them up for here a minute.
We're gonna take a little break here.
If you guys haven't had a chance to go to our website, studio57radio@studio57radio.com. Check out the new website. We're gonna the Stitcher, Spreaker, and TuneIn stuff will be launching real soon. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel, Studio 57 Radio. Subscribe, hit the alert thing so you don't miss any of the programming we got here, and you won't miss a single show for us. Lock in the text line 313-307-5340. What do we got on the other side, Moose?
We're gonna get more than just basically chit-chatting with sports and everything with it on there. We'll talk a little bit about Rob Gronkowski lost his belt.
The Rob Gronkowski thing it's so weird. It's so weird. I think they wanted to take the belt off him in training camp or something, but
Yes.
that wasn't going to fly. Or like in a game on a sideline.
Yes.
All right, cool. How wrestling makes football fun again.
Yes.
On the other side. We're at DSR2, Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you love and life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the ultimate underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the ultimate underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the ultimate underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next ultimate underground may happen. Now there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the ultimate underground live on your home for hip hop, rock and metal. Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Pool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for... Event. Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey, Rebels, we are back and we are doing this thing called Sports Talk Chaos. Yes, I have been a little bit off the chains here. I did not have an aneurysm. I'm good. I checked the good old blood pressure. We're good. I'll make it through. No, nothing will happen. We were kind of just talking about sports and where it's going to go and how they're going to do some things. We're having some fun with it, blowing off some steam. Hang out with us, do some more of that stuff. And before the end of the day, there'll be a couple of things we'll have to make sure we get out in the clear. What's going on with the show and with the sports moving? I mean, we're going to stay all year. People are asking. We'll talk about that kind of stuff in the coming weeks. But we got more to go here. Another hour of DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here's your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for the second hour of DSR2 on a wonderful Wednesday here in June there. Yes, it was in the mid-80s. The sky was blue. The sun was shining. And the birds were chirping.
Yes.
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
And basketball's going to be back.
Maybe. What's the date that they're targeting?
They're talking is still to like the end of July.
So they still got a little time yet, but it's getting people excited. I still feel it's a fluid situation. I don't know how they're going to
That's
pull
what
it
it
off.
is. The NHL said is we're not going to be thinking about anybody getting into training or working out until July 10th at the earliest. So we'll look at it. But then again, that's what the key is. And that's what you got to do. You got to keep it fluid. You know, basically just roll with the waves there and see what happens there and everything with it on there. But yeah, we got NASCAR on there. But again, as we said, is hopefully Tyson versus Fury.
Yeah.
Take my money.
Mike Tyson versus Tyson Fury. That'd be amazing. I know it sounds like a before and after puzzle on Wheel of Fortune.
Mike Tyson Fury.
Yes. So, that would be amazing. I would love to see that. I think that would if you do that on a pay-per-view, I think it's like Pacquiao Mayweather type numbers, or
it'll be
or
at
something
least
like
a more
McGregor,
entertaining fight to
Mayweather.
watch.
Yeah, right. So
I don't care if Tyson's 53 years old.
Well, conversations are that they're in conversations. Like rumors are that they're in conversations to make that fight happen. Because Mike's like saying you're going to be surprised at who I'm going to fight, and Tyson Fury basically over in his country basically spilling the beans, saying like, yeah, I'm in talks with Tyson, with Mike, and yeah, he might have a comeback fight against.
Now, is it going to be a sanctioned title bout?
I can't imagine it'd be a sanctioned title fight. If they give him a card to fight, I don't imagine that anybody want to give him a title fight. I think we almost fall into that Rocky V scenario or whatever the fuck, whichever Rocky movie that was.
Yeah, Rocky V with the
where he kind of gets a card and he has an exhibition
for
fight.
charity money.
Yeah, something like that. I think is how they would have to kind of pair this. So I don't see how they can do like a legit fight. Like it's going to be a minute. It's going to be he's going to have to go through a certain battery of tests to get his card probably anyway. So, and then.
Is he going to be allowed to be? Listen, I'm 53 years old. I need my testosterone therapy.
Yes. Oh, he'll get an exemption for that. Yep. Yeah, he'll get an exemption for that because he's been doing it, and his body needs it now. Right. So a doctor will be able to say yes, he needs to maintain this TRT program so that he doesn't have adverse health reaction from it or whatever, and then they will greenlight him to get TRTs. So yeah, once again, I don't care. Just entertain me. If he's got to be juiced up to the max and he's cool with it, then let's go. Like I don't even care. But we've talked about that before. That's hey man, if you're willing to do it and it does, I don't care. I wouldn't want to do it. I don't think you should do it. But if you want to, I don't care. Entertain me. But I think that would be great fun. Like I said, I think it would do huge numbers regardless. But I think you kind of have to treat it more like an exhibition for charity, kind of, or whatever. I know Tyson won't take the money. It'll definitely go to charity on Mike's side, just because of how he is. But so I'm not sure. But I would love to see that. There's lots of different stuff I'd like to see. I think you're going to see some big-time MMA fights. Connor's going to be coming back soon. And I think with Ferguson getting his face blown to pieces and all of that stuff going on, you're going to get a lot of good. So that's what's going to hold me over. I don't know.
Wasn't there the rumors on there that McGregor was going to fight Silva? They're talking.
There's so many different ones that have been out there.
I heard that
around.
earlier in the week on there that.
So I'm not sure where we're at.
Anderson Silva and on there fighting in like an open weight thing on there, like where Silva like 176 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be weird to see Anderson Silva in a weight class with Conor McGregor because it just wouldn't be fair. Even if they did like an open weight thing, it would just be astronomical size difference. So I don't see how you could do that in MMA and make it work. I think that's kind of a fantasy booking thing, and it's just not reality. Connor going against what's his name, who busted up for Gaethje. Seeing a fight like that, he just busted up Ferguson, so that could be a fight you could see. They're only a weight class apart, I think, in reality. So, you could do stuff like that. But I think there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff in MMA coming down the pipe. So, and pro wrestling has been able to stay in business. Boxing needs to capitalize on the fact that there's nothing else going on right now.
Right.
Boxing needs to get in on some of this action. And right now, Mike Tyson is drawing the needle because he's over there on AEW and doing that pro wrestling angle again with Chris Jericho 10 years later at another company. And they're now beating the WWE in ratings since Tyson's been showing up.
Oh, yeah.
So Tyson is proved to be money. So, you're going to see, that's where you're going to see that stuff. I would not be surprised if all this stuff is the prelude to this Tyson Fury fight, because what a better way to get Tyson over and generate. I mean, that's why Tyson did the WWE thing with Stone Cold all them years ago, because he was selling a fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is great for everybody. So boxing needs to get in on this. And so this would be a good idea. They need to get in on the fact that it's one of the few things that can actually go on, because you can screen the people you need to and have the proper medical people, and then just have nobody in the crowd and have two guys in the ring, and then you can clean and disinfect and keep people away from each other. You can do this. Boxing can be done without an issue. So, for the most part. So, I think they need to jump on it. Will they? I don't know. We'll see. I kind of wish they would have at this point. What's your take? What are you guys anxious for? Are you looking forward to the changes? Whatever, blase splee. 313-307-5340, Facebook and YouTube. Also on Twitter at Studio57. Dave says, I don't want them to shoehorn any season in anywhere. I'd rather wait and get the sport I enjoy. I don't know that you're in the majority there. But I know that you're not alone.
No.
I mean, there are a lot of people that would much rather just wait.
And I'm kind of torn, because I do understand that. And like, is it really worth it trying to shoehorn this in? Or is it just saying more prudent to just say, let's just start fresh and come out there and wait?
Right. I mean,
these are
right
out of the, this is a weird time on there with it. This is something that's has never happened, and hopefully it never happens again. But this is a time where you just got to say, what is best for the sport?
Right.
Is it better to do the short-term money, or is it better to play the long game?
Right. Well, yeah, to me, it's all about the long game. 313, once again, text line's available, guys. Unnamed texter, the more and more I hear you guys talk about trying to play live sports, the more and more I just don't think it's feasible. It just seems like such a big mess logistically and everything else to why even risk it. I once again, the more we talk things out, the more insane it sounds that they say some of the stuff that they're saying. Like, when you get in that sports bubble and you stay within that bubble, it makes sense. Like, we're going to try to do this. We got to try anything to try to get sports moving forward. Maybe if we try that, we'll spitball that. We'll do this, whatever. Oh, now states are allowing this, so we can get guys starting to do that. So we can do practices here, or we can at least train and be in shape here. Whatever the case may be. I just feel like the more they talk about that stuff, and the less they address the elephant in the room.
Right.
I just don't know how it's possible. So I'm, our unnamed texter here, I wish you could leave a name. I'm with you, and I'm having the conversation, right? We're the ones bringing the topic to light. And I have the same thing. The more we talk it through, the less feasible it seems to get any kind of like viable, realistic version of a product that we've ever seen before. You know what I mean? We're not going to play. We can't. What do we do? Play horse here? I mean, it's just not going to be the same sport. And do we care enough to watch a bastardization of a sport with the risk that's involved in trying to put together this horseshit version
Right.
of what we normally do, that is realistically probably not safe. And if you have anybody that has at-risk family members, why would they want to be a part of it?
Well, that's true. I mean, if I'm
So, once again, another thing that's right in front of us that has not been addressed. So,
I mean, I think baseball has, like, the last proposal was if you want to opt out on it for this season, then you're allowed to do so for.
right, but I mean, are they going to pay these guys?
No, they're not going to pay them.
Well, then what the fuck? So now, because because you can't create a safe working environment, I don't get paid. You think the union's going to sit there and handle that?
No, I mean, that's the argument. And again, you're getting it right now at certain ball clubs with their minor league. They're releasing minor leaguers saying, "Oh, we're not paying your stipends."
Right.
I mean, the Dodgers did 1,000 minor leaguers saying no.
Right.
Whereas then you got David Price saying, "Hey, for the month of June, I'm making sure these cats get their $400 a week."
Right. Well,
out of my own pocket. Now, again, reverse wise is you've got the Tigers saying all our guys will be paid for the whole season.
Right.
We're going to pay them $400 a week for the whole season. Every minor leaguer.
Well,
because it's only fair for them because they didn't ask for this.
Right. Well, right.
Yeah. So you're saying you're not going to pay me? I don't know if I'm going to stick around as a farmhand on there. Maybe I'm just going to go get a real job.
Yeah. Well,
a normal job.
Yeah, you almost have to. And so
because I can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. And so I guess to me is that there isn't a single union that's going to allow somebody that is forced away
Especially
from work
you got
because of those
contracts
reasons.
such as baseball.
Right. Well, you can't tell me it doesn't matter. Okay, now if you're not doing business and you're closed down and you lay me off and you don't pay me, I get that.
Then my contract's null and void and I get to go somewhere
That
else.
I can do whatever I want because now the contract's dead. I get that aspect of it. But if you're up and you're running business as usual, but you cannot provide a safe business or a safe working environment, then I'm not coming in. I shouldn't have to come in because of the given situation, and you should have to pay me. Right. Because it's not you're the one not providing the
my
working
contract
conditions.
says I get paid.
My contract says I will come in when the conditions are right. You guys are making money because you open the doors and you are working.
If you're saying that you're not making money, let me see the books.
Right. If you're saying that you're not making money, then why are we doing this? Then the whole league needs to shut down. I don't even need to see the books. The whole league needs to shut down.
Right.
Because there's no reason to put people's health at risk for no money.
Right.
For nothing. So that's not even a viable argument. It's dead in the water. I love how people love to throw shit in arguments that just fucking mean nothing. That would be something you throw in an argument that would mean fucking nothing. So, to me, I once again, I can't find anywhere any wiggle room in these team sports where you can make this fucking shit happen safely.
Right.
No one is yet to answer these other questions. Anyone, I don't care who you are, anybody, you're a medical professional or a layman or you're just listening to the show or you just learned to speak English yesterday, like I don't care. Can anybody explain to me anyone how they can solve or even put a dent in any one of these things we've listed over the last hour and a half that prevent you from putting people together like that? Even with, like here in the state, Michigan, tomorrow we could have groups of 100 or less.
Right.
We can go to all the stores will open back up. Now, no tattoo parlors, massage places, salons, like the real close places that you can't. Offices, but most businesses can get back to work. Everything could go back, for the most part. You still got to do the social distancing. You still need to wear a mask in public. But most of this stuff's opening. And even with that being said, you can't do this shit.
No. I mean, I'm looking at it basically as, and again, more of a personal one, it's just the kids playing ball. I mean, again, it's going to be a smaller venue. And are we supposed to social distance? Yeah, that's going to work for the first day.
Right.
first day of a tournament. But then again, is you're not.
How are you going to social distance in the fucking dugout, Moose?
Well, again, the kids on there can't. There's no
Right.
way. But the parents on the side, and again, we're a couple feet apart or whatever. I mean, we're not sitting on top of each other.
Yeah.
We're all spread out along the sidelines, the foul lines, and basically in chairs and stuff.
And we haven't addressed the inevitable second wave.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now.
What you're looking right now is Florida's spiking again.
They're
They're getting bigger numbers than they were the first time. Now.
Every single state that has loosened the restrictions has had a spike. And I don't know if you're aware of what's going on in this country, Moose.
Not quite social distancing.
Social distancing isn't quite a priority at the moment.
No.
And understandably so.
Right.
But the undeniable truth of that is that there will more than likely now almost guarantee
Be a second spike.
a second wave that could fall exactly what health professionals feared and be worse than the first.
Right.
And I'm telling you now, if I had to put money on it, that meant something to me. I would have to say that I'd have to go with the over. I'd have to say it's probably going to happen, and it's probably going to be worse
Probably
than the
going to
first
happen
one.
in the next, week to 10 days.
It takes 5 to 14 days to gestate. So
Over the
you've been
weekend,
doing that for 4. You've been going at this thing for 4
9
days. So you're talking, within the next week to 10 days, you're going to start seeing shit pop up all over the country.
Right.
And you know what? I can't be mad at people for why they're out there. And I support the whole cause absolutely wholeheartedly 100%, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But there's consequences to every action you take, positive or negative.
Right.
They're constant. You can do all the great things, and there can be negative consequences to doing those great things. And unfortunately, that's a situation we're going to have here, where people are doing great things out there, and unfortunately, though it's going to do much more good than bad, there are going to be some negative consequences, and this, I believe, will be the main one, and that'll be a spike in cases, and that changes the ball game on all this shit. It makes all this conversation that all these sports leagues are having absolutely pointless. Right. Moot, senseless, and really not forward thinking.
No.
Because especially with a league like the NBA, who's been very forward thinking coming up, going into this, and really since the whole Sterling thing started, and your boy has taken over as commissioner. I think it's they've been really good at that, and they're not doing that here. In a league that is very, very much part of the Black Lives Matter movement, whether they want to be or not. They're very much a part of it. Very much, it's a very important thing to NBA and NFL, if I had to guess. And we know it because they've proven it over time. Before we got to this combustible moment. And so I just feel like, it just sucks. You're gonna have this unfortunate, shitty side effect to what's happening here, and to all this, what I just think is absolutely a beautiful movement that this country's needed for a long time, and now it's just happening at the worst fucking time with a virus being attached to it. So. And the league is not thinking about that and not feeling the temperature in the room and realizing that all those things are coming around, and they should be. All the players that have stood out and talked about this movement, and everybody that stood out and condemned of the brutality and the inequality and all that stuff that's out there right now, and you're not even thinking about the fact that all this is going on and affects your ability to do business.
Right. I mean, for again,
And so you can't just willy-nilly say, oh, yeah, we're going to go out there. The virus hasn't gone away, and you have civil unrest as part of this thing, and you have not addressed any of those things that are in your way to doing the things that you think you can do with this fucked up schedule and these crazy new rules and these new formats and this crazy ideas that you have in your head.
I mean, and again, a perfect example on there, basically, again, down there, it says, over in Japan, the Yomiuri Giants call off a preseason game after two players after two positive coronavirus tests.
Right.
So basically, and they're looking to start the season in the next couple weeks there. And again, they're on the better half of the slope than we were
Right.
on there, and they're just getting started on it. And look at here it is.
And then bam.
I mean, the only ones that are on there that seem to get us, they have gotten the season going, and we're seeing it because of ESPN, and that is South Korea and Taiwan.
Right.
Because again, they just happen to be ahead of the game there, doing the testing and so forth with it, and they're playing again stadiums with no fans.
Right.
So yes, we're getting hooked on Korean baseball.
Well, we're taking what we could get. I mean, there's like Ultimate
Plus their
Tag,
nicknames are
and
much
there's all
better.
kinds of shit now. So you got Titan Games coming back, that rock show, this version of the Gladiators or whatever. Got that coming
Right.
back. So
Yep.
Got a few
It's
things
Tag.
to watch. Yep. Ultimate Tag was on tonight.
Tonight with
tonight?
the Watt
I think
brothers.
it was on tonight. I think it was. I think it's
Tonight
over
or
now.
tomorrow night?
I think it was on tonight. I think it was on at 8:00.
All right.
I think I think it was on earlier.
And then also too, we got the 30 for 30 with Lance Armstrong on Sunday night. What a douche.
Oh, why? Fucking why?
Dude, he admits to everything, but he still comes off as a complete douche.
He is a douche.
Well, he
because
is a douche.
He's
a
so
du-
unfucking
He's not even a
sincere.
douche. He's a despicable human being.
He's not sincere. He just says that
No,
shit.
he isn't.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He's such a bastard.
He's so blatantly doesn't give a shit.
It's all about him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, why are we doing a 30 for 30 on this fucking clown? I ain't watching that shit.
I wasn't going to watch. I just heard it. Like, no, I'm not.
I know, but I heard about
I'm
that.
not giving him the satisfaction because first of all, it's a great inspirational story for you coming back on it. But you fucked up every goddamn thing along the way there.
Yeah.
You come back on there from the testicular cancer. Your wife stays by your side the whole time. The moment you come back and you win the Tour de France and become a big superstar in there, you dump her ass.
Yep.
Then you hook up on there and you just threaten to destroy anybody that's in your way there who has any dirt on you.
Well, yeah, because you were blood
Then you hook up
doping.
with Sheryl Crow, and the moment she gets breast cancer, you think you would learn and stay by her. Nope, you dumped her ass.
Yep. Yeah, he's such a scumbag, man.
He is a scumbag.
He's such a piece of shit. And then, he was blood doping for all them years and cheating all that time while condemning with so much vitriol.
Hypocritical.
Oh, it was so much vitriol and hate the way he did it too. It's not like he was just, I don't know, fuck that guy, man. The guy's not even worth fucking. I wouldn't have wasted the 5 minutes of recording him fucking walking down the street, man.
I'd rather watch like the 30 for 30 on Lyle Alzado.
I would rather watch the 30 for 30 on the squirrel in my backyard.
You need to do is get one of them little launchers. Boo!
Yes.
Somebody actually built a damn obstacle course for
I
a
saw the video.
Ninja Warrior course on
I
there
saw
for
the video,
squirrels.
yes.
And the squirrel's like, master, we're going to bypass. I go, boo!
Yeah, they cheat everything, little fuckers.
Freaking little ninja bastards.
Yeah, I saw that video. That guy was fucking silly with all that shit. I was dying. I'm like, dude, why?
You doing the little the things on there?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, it's too easy.
boom, 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 boom.
So you had to make it harder and take some away. Just all this stuff.
And they're like, nah, we'll just go over all of them. We're a squirrel. We can do that.
So fucking silly.
Your dog can't get us. You think this is going to stop us from getting to the
I was
bird
watching
seed?
my dogs chase some squirrels and chipmunks. Man, they're so fucking stupid. They can't. They don't stand a chance against them things.
No.
So like we're out in the woods, right? And I got a tree, and it's busted so far up, and it's tilted down, so it's got like that lever thing going on, like this. So it's like a ramp almost. The tree's like a ramp downward, and so they're chasing this chipmunk into the brush or whatever, and they're like looking for it and sniffing for it, and it just goes around the tree, and they're right there. It just goes around the tree, goes up the backside, and then goes over the down part, right over top of them, like, and stops and looks over at him and shit, and then I'm just the whole time going, you fucking idiots, he's right there fucking with you and taunting you, and you don't even know it. They're just looking around, totally clueless, and he just does whatever. My dogs don't stand a chance against
I don't know what
squirrels.
our dog did, but we found a bird with no head on it.
Oh yeah, well my dog's done that. My old lady dog now.
So I don't know. I don't
when
know
she
what
was young,
did.
she did
Now
that.
we had my old dog as a child there, did that. But this damn dog basically they had a tree branch went over our yard.
Okay.
From the neighbors, and it was about 6.5 feet in the air, and these freaking birds would sit on that tree branch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And the dog just
They're
sitting in a
dickheads.
fat little mutt. And the dog would be sitting there like, you mother. All of a sudden, one day the dog just went, boom, straight up in the air, snap,
Oh,
bird head off.
nice.
You see it on body, and my mom sees all these dirt bird bodies like with no head. She goes, and the neighbor had a cat, and she goes, "What the fuck are your psycho cat doing?"
Yeah, right.
And then saw her a couple days later, and it was the dog
That's
going,
your
"Yeah."
crazy dog.
Dog's like, "Yeah, I got your ass."
My
Come in that lower red. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, I couldn't believe it either. I had I kept getting a couple of dead. Every once in a while I had these dead birds in the yard, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why are all the dead birds landing in my fucking yard? And I don't have a cat. None of my neighbors have cats. Why have these dead birds in my yard all the time? So one day I'm sitting out on my upper balcony. I had like an upper balcony on the back of my house at that time. It like led down to the hot tub, and I was like just sitting up there chilling. I smoked cigarettes back in the day, and I was just having a cigarette, standing up there, getting ready to maybe wander down to the hot tub. And robins are mean motherfuckers.
Yes.
And so they're dive bombing my dogs. Like, they don't like my dogs in the yard. They think they're badass because they can get in the tree, and they're dive bombing. And I have a greyhound mix that had enough of it. And this bird fucking was swooped down like it was a badass, and my fucking dog jumped up like a border collie would when you throw a frisbee in the air, and just knocked that fucking thing out of the sky and fucking pounced on it. And it wasn't shit. And I'm like, that's where all the fucking birds are coming from. The fucking dog was sick of them fuckers bombing them, and would just fucking, I got something for your ass, and would just time it.
Game on, motherfucker.
Just time it. Just jump up and bam, knock that fucker right out of the sky. And then pounce on it while it's all on the ground going, flapping around.
But I had a friend of mine, and he had a yard like your old yard there in the previous place on there is, how deep it was.
Yeah, right.
His yard was that deep, but like 3 times wider.
Oh, wow, yeah, big.
So it was a big yard.
Yeah, huge.
And he had this golden retriever. All of a sudden, one day, we see this pigeon flying low. And all of a sudden, that dog took off like a damn cheetah in the Serengeti, man. Boom! I mean, she's coming on and she's running. I'm like, we're watching along. And all of a sudden, that dog's like, on that bird's flying about 6 feet, and that dog just basically went, launched up and right in midair. Just snatched it. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, no shit. That's impressive. Thank you very much.
So that dog look at it. Yeah, he's mine.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Well, that was like that very same dog with the bunnies in the yard, dude. Them bunnies didn't stand a chance. They were so dumb. They come in the yard, and my fucking dog had a dog door, and my dog could see them bunnies. It ain't stupid.
If we had a dog there, the couple of squirrels would be gone because she almost got a couple. One man, the damn thing went, crap, where am I going to go? And we had a privacy fence.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
And there's a little hole, and that thing went, and you just see her go.
Yeah, right. She used to bring me bunnies all the time, but she'd just stand up and she'd be out the door, fly out the dog door, and these bunnies, with the greyhound, right, they really stretch when they do their run, right? Their back legs, and then they go way inside, so then their front legs are way back behind their ass, like that reach, that stretch of how that's why they're so fast, because they're like an accordion the way they fucking open and close, and they get such a huge stride. So even with a big yard, like one stride, and she's across that motherfucker.
Right.
And these rabbits would fucking run their full heads off, and she'd just be like one stride, whoop, whoop, and bam, gone, dead. Did not care. She'd flip them upside down, disembowel them, and bring you the fucking fur. In the house, through the dog door.
Rabbits weren't smart enough. Zigzag.
No. Didn't matter. I saw one try it. It didn't matter.
Oh, damn.
Did not matter. She did that fucking wide paw shit. Real low and just went, what? And fucking caught that thing. I was like, oh, Jesus. You know how many baby bunnies I had in the backyard that were orphaned? Ridiculous. And I was a rapper. It's not gangster holding little fucking bunnies the size of nickels in your hand. So, yeah, this dog was... So, yeah, certain things for sure. I watched a cat. Cats are killers. They can really do it.
Yeah.
I was at one of my old houses, our very first studio, where all this studio, where the station started, and I'm splitting logs for the winter because I had a fireplace and I loved burning the fireplace in the winter. I'm out front splitting logs, and there's all these birds doing their thing in the front yard, getting worms and stuff. The house across the street, and once again I smoked cigarettes at the time. And I stopped, take a break, have a cigarette. And I watched this scraggly ass, gnarly fucking street cat with the worst fucking hairdo you ever seen, fucking walk from the dead end into the first house, into the neighbor's yard, and into the yard across the street, just creeping between the bushes, in front of the house, and like doing the army crawl, getting real low, and just getting in behind the bushes. These birds never saw this cat I watched the cat the whole time make the maneuver from the dead end 2 houses down to get in the yard where the fucking birds are. And it's in the bushes, and I can see it crouched down in the bushes staring at these birds. And that fucker just army crawled out till it got within like a couple of feet and fucking bam, snatched that bird up alive, took it. Fucking thing was like, and there was nothing it could do. It was caught, it was dead, it was gone. That bird just trotted. You know what it did? It took about 10 steps, ripped its wings off, and then trotted off into the bushes.
Again, billion years of tiger DNA.
Right, and the little things.
And they want to fuck things up.
Yeah, so like that's my sport right now. I'm watching nature. I'm watching my dogs be stupid. Here's a good one, since dogs being dumb. My dogs are so excited that we were going to get away, because they haven't been away either, and they know where we're going, that what I do is I get everything loaded and ready, and then I let the dogs out. So everything's loaded and ready, and I try to get the kid and the wifey and everybody in the car first, and then let the dogs fill in the gaps. Because you know how it is. If you get, right. I've got 3 dogs, so if you get all the dogs in there, they just take over all the seats, and you're pushing and getting whatever. So they're going to the car and getting in the car. The boy gets in the car. She's going to open the hatch on the Jeep for the dogs before she gets in, but I open the door early. She doesn't even get around to the back door yet. The dogs come running. I've got a 70-pound pit bull here. She's 5 years old, and she is trucking for the back of that Jeep. She's going to jump in the door. We always open the door. The door wasn't fucking open, and she fucking ran and jumped anyway. Full fucking speed, full fucking stretch, full fucking force, right into a closed fucking Jeep door.
Boom.
70 pounds of fucking beef. Bam! Hit the ground like nothing fucking happened. Why didn't you open the door in time? Didn't you see me jumping?
Why'd you open the door?
Why didn't you open the door? Just dirt. I almost pissed myself. I laughed so hard. She tried to jump through the window, but the window was closed.
Oh, Jesus.
She thought she could make the jump into a fucking Jeep back window when she could barely make it in with the hatch open. But she tried. She almost made it. Like, she probably would have gotten her front paws and been able to do the pull herself in had the glass been open. She just hit her head on it instead. Bam! Hit the ground.
Why was the window open?
Fucking girl didn't even have a chance, didn't even see it coming. It like came from the blind side of her. She's like, well, because she's getting ready to open it. Oh my God, so fucking funny. God, they're such ding-dongs.
Speaking of nature,
I love them too.
Well, you pay attention. I would watch on there, and then, of course, see people get shark sightings. Are like all the way up.
Oh yeah, because there's nobody on the
great
beaches.
whites there in California.
Right. Yeah.
But you weren't allowed to go swimming, so there's okay. Here we go.
Yeah, we got all the we can take over now. Well, that's this virus is cleansing the earth, right?
Yes.
Because nature is taking back over because we're not there to fuck it up. You know, all the greenhouse gases have gone exponentially down, and all of a sudden nature is like, oh, I'm happy now. And so, yeah, you're seeing it everywhere. It's even up where I go, which is already nature, but I don't usually see these porcupines, Michigan porcupines, out just fucking right there, man. Like, my dog was barking at it. I'm like, you don't want to bark at that motherfucker.
No, because I really don't want to have to take it to
you don't want to get those things yanked out.
No. I mean, you can't. The neighbors were a friend of mine growing up on her. She posts on her. She lives over in Centerline, and also she posts on her picture. And there's a family of skunks across the across the street. He goes, no one's been there since December. They moved out, and there's a freaking like 6 skunks, mother and the baby just walking around. I'm like, man, I'd be calling DNR because You got dogs, man. You don't want them dogs to get
Oh
sprayed.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know.
Granted, pineapple juice, or actually pineapple juice works better than tomato juice.
Tomato juice does not work. It's a fallacy. It'll just make your fucking life miserable. It'll make it worse. It'll smell like skunks and ketchup. It's horrible. It's even harder to get out of their fur than the smell that you're going to deal with. Super easy formula. My dogs get it all the time. I have a dog that is vindictive. She goes the other way around with it. Instead of every time she smells a skunk, she goes in the house. Every time she smells a skunk, she goes on a murderous rampage and kills them because she got sprayed once. So now I always have, anytime there's a skunk in the yard, it gets murdered. And of course, she gets sprayed. So it's super easy. Hydrogen peroxide, baking soda into a paste, and then mix in dish soap just enough to kind of, it helps get sticky and kind of get into the coat better. And instead of washing it 52 times with tomato juice, you can do that once, and it'll fucking clean your dog.
Right, but I've heard because of the pineapple's very high in the citric acid.
Yeah, right. Put that in your dog's eyes and tell me how he feels about that. Don't fucking do it. And that's why they say you use tomatoes too. And it's a fallacy. Citrus does not fucking kill the skunk. Shit. That whoever told that and put that myth out there is a fucking lying asshole. They are. My fucking Sabian, who's 16, has been sprayed 4 times. I've had 8 dogs. Every single one of them has been hit. The only thing I've ever used that's ever worked is what I just told you. And I've tried everything.
I mean, you look at the baking soda and hydrogen peroxide together, and they'll clean out a clogged drain in that.
Oh, yeah. So you make it into a paste, and you got to put it on them and really mix it into their fur.
The dish soap, the high glycerin makes it more pliable.
Yeah, and so you do all that, and you get that in there, and then you get them all coated, and then you rinse all that shit off, and you got to, and then what'll happen, like with my dog, since she was murdering the thing, and she didn't stop, she just killed it. She took a direct one right here to the face. So after I washed her, because it's hard to clean in here, she was a little stinky right here on the diamond part, like right between her eyes. So then I had to go back again with like a glove, like one of those like washy gloves.
Yeah.
And just in between her eyes and on her forehead at ground zero, because it's really hard to get in there around her eyes when you're trying to do her whole fucking body. But other than that, it was a one-shot wash. The tomato shit, I did that for hours, and it did nothing. It does nothing.
And if you ever hit a skunk with your car, just sell the car.
Yeah, well, no.
Just torch it.
Just if you hit a skunk with your car, go to the $3 car wash and make them earn their money. Okay, that's bogue shit, but
dump it in somewhere on there and just throw a match and a gas can.
All right. But,
I don't know what happened to my car. It's gone.
But, going to that whole nature taking back shit.
I didn't say this in case you record it. I know we're going to delete this.
Yeah, right. The whole nature taking shit back thing, though, it's a real deal. Like, I went up to my cabin and went out on the river on the kayak out by us there, our river there. And just getting down there is different because the beavers have taken a bunch of trees. And they're not fucking playing, dude. They chew them right to the middle, and then they just fall over. So you can see all the ones they've taken, and then the ones that they're working on. And they take a shit ton of them, right? I'm like, holy shit, look at all these trees down. And I'm like, oh, this is all beaver work. And then get on the kayak, and there's a beaver den the size of a fucking shed right on the side of the river. Yeah, I mean, the size of a shed, a good size shed.
You do not want to mess with a beaver.
And then you go a little bit further down, and there's a beaver dam that's covered about 3/4 of the river and making like a little press point. And it is bad as hell. I have to say it's outstanding. I ain't worried about no beaver. They're scared of me. They're more scared of me than I am of them, kind of scenario. So if I'm paddling with my kayak or whatever, or my canoe or whatever, I'm not worried about a beaver. Yeah. If I corner a beaver, you don't want to corner a beaver. They will fuck you up. You don't want to corner anything, but you don't want to corner a beaver. I'm out in the woods in the porcupine situation. My dog, idiot meathead meatball, 70-pound pit bull that runs into fucking closed doors. She runs ahead of the group because we've already done the thing and we're doubling back. So she likes to, on the comeback, she likes to go ahead and then like just putts around and wait for us to get there. So she doesn't go too far ahead, but she gets far enough ahead where you can't see her. And she starts barking her fool head off. Now she doesn't ever bark out there. you know, in the woods with nothing. I'm thinking maybe one of the neighbors' kids came out back there, and you know, being a jerk, and the dog's barking. I'm like, what the fuck is the deal? And it's that fucking porcupine. And my dog, that meathead knew, because it chases every other creature on earth, including humans. If you run, it chases you. Whether you're a fucking grown human, a fucking little kid, a bird, a rabbit, a dog, a cat, if you fucking run, she will fucking chase you. Every single time. Not this motherfucker. She said, nope. She was chasing horses, cows, until they turn on her. Then she runs like a bitch and pees the floor and cries. But if you run, she chases. This motherfucker was walking the other way, and she was like, nope, fuck that. Bow wow wow, motherfucker, bow wow. Like, fucking get away from me with all them things on your shit. Like, she just knew that she wasn't gonna fuck with that.
In a previous life as a dog,
she must have known. Because I come running, you know, and I come up, and I have an Australian Shepherd that's with me too, and she stays right next to you. And so she ran up to see what was going on, and I'm like, hey, wait, and she stopped, and I could see it just kind of sauntered off like no big deal, like it didn't fucking care. And it didn't give a fuck that them dogs were there barking at it. Right. It didn't give a shit. Any closer, and I'm fucking you up. And it didn't care. It just turned around and walked away like they weren't even there. Mm-hmm. And my dogs were smart. They stayed put. They didn't go anywhere fucking near that motherfucker. That would have hurt. That would have sucked, trying to pull them things out. Yeah. And if you are, and since I know we're off sports here a little bit, and we're on a tangent, and why not? What the hell else can we do here? If you guys are in Michigan, and you're doing the up north thing, and you have your fucking dogs, make sure you're up to date on the tick fucking thing. Yeah. The ticks are off the fucking chains. I didn't know they had ticks this fucking big in this state. I've seen them as big as fucking June bugs, and fucking I had them all over the dogs. Dude, I had to pick them off of me. Off of me. So don't fucking play and get your flea and tick shit for your dog this year if you're in Michigan. My Aussie had 5 ticks on her at one time. 3 different species. One of them was the size of a fucking one of those June bug beetle things you always hear buzzing in the trees. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a record year for June bugs, too.
It was fucking off the hook, these things. And so we're using the stupid, tick fucking remover thing. And fucking, it was so big it wouldn't fit in the motherfucker. They're so giant. And it's called a brown dog tick. And they're huge. They're the size of my thumbnail. Jesus. And they fucking latch onto you like a motherfucker. And then you got the regular dog ticks. And that's what I had on me. I was like, man, I had an itch. And I hit it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? There's something on my shirt? Like, what the fuck is stuck to me? And I just reached and grabbed it and pucked it off. And I looked, and it's this tick with his fucking little legs doing its fucking thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? I had to have my girl check and make sure there was nothing in my fucking skin still.
Yeah, that's all you need is get Lyme disease.
I'm like, what in the fuck, man? So ticks, this is nature taking back. Once again, the mosquitoes were so bad out there, and the gnats were so bad I couldn't breathe. You couldn't be out there. I had to go out, and I go out with a fogger, and I had to double up on the fogger per square foot. I had to double it. I put out 8 tiki torches, a fucking bug zapper, and then this mosquito thing that attracts all the mosquitoes, sucks them up, dries them up, smashes them, and it covers an acre of land at a time. I had to do all that shit and have it go for 24 hours before you could even stand to be out there. Because the fucking, no one's been out there. Yeah. No one's been doing their shit. And the fucking, even the bugs are taking over. The fucking nature was everywhere, dude. There was bear shit in my yard. They've never come that close. The fucking snakes were everywhere, dude. My dogs were picking them up like they were fucking sticks in the ground. Snakes everywhere. It was crazy. My girl's like, I don't hear them. I'm like, you can't hear them? They're slithering all around you. You can hear them going through the leaves and shit. They were fucking off the hook everywhere. Lizards. In Michigan. On land. Lizards. It's crazy, dude. Nature is taking its back. There was vultures on the neighbor's cabin just kicking it. Jimmy's like, one was flying like this. I'm like, oh, look at that hawk. and it landed on the roof, and I'm like, oh, well, that's a little bit bigger than a hawk. Jimmy's like, that looks like a vulture. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it is.
Big old buzzard.
A big old fucking turkey vulture, man. Them things are giant.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, they're just taking over, man. They're fucking, they're coming back. The deer prints there's no doubt there's some baby deer in my backyard. There's little paw prints, little deer hoof prints about the size of a fucking
fawns.
little tiny things, man, like little teeny ones. And I'm like, whoa. So, and they're all over my yard. You don't usually see the prints. You can see them, like when you go, I'm up to state land, I'm backed up to state land, so if you go back into that first part of the trail, you don't even see them because we've opened up the trailhead and we've cleared it out, and there's paths that go through there for ATVs and shit. And it's all groomed back in there. But because nobody's been there, they don't care anymore. And they're just fucking, we're walking down the trail and there's a whole family of deer right in the middle of the trail. Fucking 10 feet from the fucking cabin.
Hey, what's up?
They're like, hey, what's going on? It's like, holy shit. You know, we were driving down the street and they're just chucking across the road in broad daylight. Like stray cats. Just doom, doom, doom. And everybody that lives up there all expanded their farms. Everybody expanded their farms. Added other buildings, brought in more animals. The guy across the street expanded his dog kennel, brought in more horses, and then added an entire cow ranch on the side and brought in more sows and bulls and babies and the whole 9 yards. They got fucking chickens. They got a whole chicken coop and the whole 9 yards out there. Then they took pine trees and surrounded their entire property with pine trees. It's fucking going crazy in this world. And everybody, I'm on a little dead-end street. It's got like 4 or 5 vacation properties and about 6 or 8 like ranches. And they've all expanded their fucking farms or added a farm if they didn't have it.
Like, in other words, they're not worrying about anybody else, just themselves.
They're not worried about fucking food, the supply chain.
Right.
They're like, fuck this. And I'm going to tell you what, the rooster across the street needs a goddamn watch. That motherfucker was going off at all hours of the night. He didn't know what fucking time it was. He'd go off in the middle of the day. He'd go off at 2 in the morning. He'd go off at 3 in the morning. He'd go off at noon. What the fuck's wrong with your rooster? He's fucking broken. Get him a fucking watch. You're pissing me off.
Otherwise, you're going to be, where's the rooster? And all of a sudden, you're going to be seeing chicken on his spit.
I am going to be playing Alice in Chains on my way to your fucking house as I murder that fucking thing and eat it for dinner. Here I come to snuff the fucking rooster. I'm going to play it on the loudspeaker as I come tromping through your yard and murdering this thing. So the greatest part of it all is we're up there, and it's Memorial Weekend, and everybody else is up there too, right? But it wasn't like that. We thought everybody'd be up there to be crazy, to be stupid. It wasn't.
That's what I heard too. Somebody went up to Gaylord, and he says
it was pretty dead.
One of the parents in it, and he says they went up there, him and the family, and they took the kid golfing on Friday up there, and he says there was nobody on the course.
There's nobody up there because all the campgrounds and all those recreational places they can't open
unless you got a cottage.
Unless you own something, you can't go up there. So like our the old host here, Jimmy James, he used to be the host of the show. I said, hey, dude, you can't do your normal thing. Come camp at my place. Set up at my house on my property up there. So he came up and set up his tent and enjoyed our river and our lakes and stuff. But so it wasn't busy up there at all. So like I thought it would be a big deal. But we go up there and our neighbors, like I said, there's about 6 or so weekenders, like vacation properties up there. And the one next to us, we have the assholes. They don't care about anybody else, and they're just disrespectful and loud and shitty all the fucking time. And of course, since none of their friends can go to their normal camping spots, they all came there. So they were on full fucking tilt. Like they had everybody on, and it's like, oh my God, here we go. The headache is going to begin because now it's twice as much idiocy. And so the block mayor lives across the street, and if you guys don't live in the country or in a setting like that, a block mayor is like a guy that basically makes sure that everything stays the way it should. He lives there, he's there all the time, probably works on his farm all the time. He knows every car, every person, everybody that walks in and out of here. He knows everything about everybody all the fucking time. He makes it his business to know. He watches out for everybody. He is the neighborhood watch. So I've got that guy right across the street from me. Love Rich, great guy. Love having him right there. a couple of times he thought but when they first bought the place, he didn't realize they were even there. He thought we were the problem, that we brought loud motherfuckers up. And I said, no, these new idiots that bought that fucking place over there are doing that shit. So he, left us alone. He's like, I didn't think it was you guys. You guys didn't act like that all these years before. Why would you all of a sudden be an idiot? So the idiots are being idiots, and guess what happens? The mayor is angry, and he fucking goes down there, and he fucking pounds on the fucking door, and he breaks the party up. And I'm like, fucking whoop, whoop, because I've already gone over there multiple times. Like, I went in there, I told the story on the show before about them shooting blindly in the back trails with their fucking handguns like idiots. And I just went over there and got in his face and told him if he does that again, I'm going to stick his gun up his ass. Didn't give a fuck that he was armed and I wasn't. I just got in his shit and told him I'm going to beat his fucking ass if he didn't stop that shit right now. And that shit's ignorant and fucking stupid. And so they backed the fuck off. But, I mean, I'm sick of being that guy. So Rich went over there and did it last time, and they fucking... It was great. I didn't hear a peep out of them the rest of the fucking time, and they went home early. It's like, goodbye. It's like, my goodness, with all the shit going on,
Yes.
you want to be a fucking dick still. And someone's got to come over and say something to you. It's nice when people can kind of come together on a common fucking thing, and that's kind of what happened there. And that's what's happening right now as we speak. That's what's going on with the whole Black Lives Matters movement. I'm going to get my face right up in the camera, and I'm going to tell you, like, I'm going to speak for myself, and I would be remiss if I didn't use my platform for this at this moment, right here, right now. This is going to be a non-political, but it will be it's a nonpartisan political statement. How about that for you? I will, and any company I'm associated with will always firmly be behind any kind of social injustice. We are 100% in support of Black Lives Matter and always will be. If you scream and yell about all lives matter, you've completely missed the point, and it's not my job to educate you, but you need to be educated. There is no way that we can get to all lives matter if black lives do not matter first. So everybody of color has to matter at one single point in time in this history of this country, and up to this point have not. There has not been a single point in time in the history of this country that the white man has ever been in question. Their viability, their value as a human being has never, ever been in question. Not once. That is called white privilege. If you do not understand that, you are not contributing to the problem. You're not part of the problem. You are the problem. It is a systematic, racist society that we're dealing with. And it has been, I come from a mixed family, and I've seen it my entire life. I have seen horrible and heard horrible things forever. I've seen it all firsthand. Everything that these people have been complaining and crying for and has happened. All those little samples of evidence that we've seen over the years, those aren't isolated incidences. Those are just things that have gotten out. Those are things that have always been there, and it is happening way more often than ever could possibly be acceptable. The fact that it's gone on this long without a movement like this is beyond me. So the fact that you're upset by the rioting and the looting and the things like that, of course, nobody is in favor of violence, but violence begets violence. And when you are violently oppressed, then sometimes you have to violently react. And I don't approve of any of those things, but I understand why they happen. And that isn't even getting into the whole aspect of the people that would try to sabotage a movement like this by planting those negative seeds in something like that, which has been proven to happen on video. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it on video, and I've seen it with my own two eyes. It has happened. I've seen it. Racial injustice is an actual thing. If you don't believe that it's a thing, if you don't believe that white privilege is a thing, then there wouldn't be a Rooney Rule in football. There wouldn't be a affirmative action, and there wouldn't be millions and millions and millions of people of all creeds, colors, and ethnic backgrounds all banding together to protest against said thing. So just saying, if you're on that whole all lives matter, educate yourself and understand that they cannot matter until Black Lives Matter and Brown Lives Matter and all those lives that have proven throughout history have not mattered. They need to. And we need to stand up and tell them that they do matter. And that won't happen until there's a systematic change. There's a small step forward today, and everybody should be happy about that. But resting on your laurels will not fix this, and we cannot allow this to fade off into the distance. So at every opportunity, we will support those that feel that they have been racially, that they've been a victim of this injustice, and we will always promote that. And if you are against that, then you're not against us, and I'm not going to give you that. You're against humanity, and you need to look in the mirror and understand that you're not only, when you're against humanity, you're against yourself, you're against your loved ones, you're against your own best interest. And that's what this boils down to is, it's in all of our own best interest to get this right. So if it takes time for justice, as long as it's served proper, we will be patient. But don't expect this thing to just fade away into the night. This isn't over. This is only just beginning, and it only should be just beginning. And if you don't understand this stuff and you are a religious person, let me break this down to you. I am not Catholic in any way, stretch, or form. In fact, I am atheist, but I will break down a book in your Catholic Bible. And I'll even make it simple for you and for people that don't follow and don't know and can't understand. Luke 15 tells a story of Jesus and his sheep, and as the sheep gets away from the flock, it is in danger, and Jesus will leave the flock of 99 to save the one flock, while the other 99 are standing there wondering, what about me? What about me? Why don't I matter? Jesus says, you do very much matter, but you are not the one that is in peril at this moment. This one is in peril, and this is the one that I'm going to deal with, and this is the one that we're going to work with. That's what's in front of us. That is very much the story that is told to you in Luke, and that is very much what is happening right here, right now. So if you are religious and you're on the right wing and you're kind of conservative and this stuff really bothers you and you don't understand it, educate yourself. All lives cannot matter until Black Lives Matter. And if you don't stand for that, you don't stand for nothing, and you're not about anything. Because bottom line is, that is the essence of our humanity, is our freedom to be able to do and be equal all across the board, and it's just not happening. Hopefully we're going in the right direction. Hopefully I didn't just bore you with my take, but the bottom line is we get to it each and every week here, Moose, and we talk about it in our outro, and it's as simple as, can we fucking be good to each other? Can we fucking be good to each other? It's as simple as that, Moose. We say it all the time. Be good to each other. We love you. We'll see you next week, brothers. We say it all the time, and it's in our vernacular. It's just part of the way we see things. Maybe that's why we're not blind to what's going on when it seems like there are a big or a loud minority of people that still are. And that's unfortunate. So hopefully this is a movement in the right direction. And I'm happy to see justice, though it's moving slowly, moving in the right direction. And hopefully everything will get better. We can start healing from these wounds. You can't keep ripping the scabs off and expect it to heal. So hopefully this will be part of the healing process. Guys, there's flooding, natural disasters, civil unrest, and a plague, quite frankly, all around the world here. And we're still doing frivolous things like podcasting and complaining about this, that, and the other. Let's get together. Let's be united for once in our fucking lives here. We are the United States, right, baby? Look out for each other. Look out for one another. Love everybody equally. And be good to each other. We'll see you next week.
Peace out, brothers.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.